Alex, right down here to your left.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good, very good.
Yeah, you seem to just be in such a good place mentally going this week. I know there was, a lot of questions last time, but do you feel like that's kind of a distant memory at this point?
Oh yeah, it is. Play on, move on. You know what I mean? It's yeah, like you can't win them all. You know what I mean? Like if I've got a job in front or a goal ahead, that's it. Locked in, focused on that. So completely forget about that. I'm a realist, man. Like I understand the situation. Okay, no worries, move on. You know what I mean? Like it's not like yeah, like you got caught. Islam did a great job, caught me. You know what I mean? Play on, move on.
Yeah, and you're right now. You're one of four fighters in UFC history who's made a successful title defense after a loss, and now you could become the only one to do it twice.
Okay.
Is that like a kind of show of the perseverance you could have, and the highs and the lows, but what you can overcome personally?
Oh, of course, because that's always a good story. They're whenever there's movies and all, there's got to be adversities. You know what I mean? And that's why this is the perfect fight coming off what happened. Everyone see me at my lowest. Now I get to bounce back and fight this undefeated prospect that everyone thinks like me. I'm 35. All this these narratives, beautiful. It's perfect. Perfect story and the hype's there. He's doing a great job. I just need to go out there, be the experienced guy that goes out there and shows him what's up. You know what I mean? So it's perfect for me. So I just get to relax, enjoy fight week, and remind everyone.
Have you ever had an opponent, make you feel this way? I know you're kind of pretty even keel and stuff, but he's been saying a lot of stuff. I'm sure it makes it easier to get out of bed every day and train and things like that. But has anyone kind of motivated you in this way that he's approaching you?
Um, I don't like I do. It's weird. Like it doesn't get under my skin or anything like that at all. It just like I said, I'm sort of happy and thankful. I'm like, oh, cheers, you know what I mean? Like you could do all that, build the hype, say what you want. All I need to do is again be that veteran, be that experienced guy that goes out there and just shows you what's up, and then that's just the perfect ending to that story. You know what I mean? And he's doing a great job. So I'm like, cheers, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I enjoy it. I really do. So it doesn't get under my skin. There's so many reasons for me to be motivated. As I've always said, I'm disciplined. I'm going to turn up in the gym. If I've got a job or a goal ahead, that's it. I'm locked in. But it was easy coming off a loss. People with this, 35-year-old thing or, like, whatever it is, like all these narratives, I love it. You know what I mean? Everyone knows I thrive in these moments. When people doubt me, it's the best.
You mentioned motivations. I want to know if this tweet from UFC 264 is a motivation in this fight at all. Thought I'd bet a little money on Ryan Hall and accidentally added an extra zero, so we're winning big or losing big tonight.
Yeah, I remember that actually. So I didn't. Um, I think he might have replied back then as well, and he was dirty that I didn't know who he was. But I was like, chill out, bro. You know what I mean? Like I know you. I think that's. He just thought he was always a superstar, I guess. But I'm like, mate, it wasn't a harsh dig at you. I'm like, I'm the one who lost money, mate. What are you angry about?
Do you remember how much you put on that with the extra zeros?
No, it wasn't too much anyway. But I mean, obviously, an extra zero more than I wanted.
Yeah, for sure. Just last thing for me, you get through him. Same
So there's
question.
definitely a couple or a few zeros.
And you get through Ilia, you're going to get the same questions again. Who's left for Volk at 45, right? He's kind of done it all. Are you looking at other people out there? Movsar. Has anyone impressed you of late that you feel makes sense, or is lightweight kind of the goal again?
I mean, it's just yeah. I guess whatever's next is whatever's next. I do want a clear guy. It's after I take Ilia's zero. I mean, taking someone else's zeros. Yeah, that might be the trend after that. We'll see. But I'm confident I'll take out anyone. So whoever it is, bring it on. But yeah, it's not. I guess it's not too clear right now. So we'll see. We'll see what's next.
Yeah, and actually, just one more. You talked last time at the media day about the EA cover curse, and obviously didn't go your way. How do you feel then coming into that one? Do you feel like it's still a thing that you need to overcome?
Ah, man, I don't. I don't look at obviously all these things. It's funny. Like I'll play into them. I'll like muck around with them and that. But I look at the facts and what really happens. You know what I mean? Like I don't think a UFC cover. I'll probably look more at 11 days notice or preparation or something more than I would at a UFC cover. You know what I mean? So it's just it is what it is. Obviously it was. That's why everyone thought it was a bad idea at the start. Who wants to take on Islam on 11 days notice? I told myself I could do it, and I was wrong.
Alex, there are obviously lots of times in your career that you've been considered the underdog, but I don't know if I've ever sensed a time before a fight, maybe because of the loss, where everyone's really sort of saying, "Oh, this is the guy to dethrone Alex." Do you feel like this is the most counted out you've been so far in your career?
Or as champion?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. What about with the Max, the third one? Or probably not. Yeah, this would probably be the most, which is good. Like I said, like I don't like. It doesn't get to me. It's like it's building this fight up because if I didn't go out there and do what happened in October, these conversations are much different. Believe me. You know what I mean? You can say what you want. Oh, this is the guy. This is the guy. We'll see if he's. Let's post fight press conference. Yeah, it's going to be a totally different conversation. You're going to be all of a sudden saying, "Man, what are you going to do at featherweight? There's nothing left for you. Look what you're doing to these guys." So that's how I'm looking at this fight. Again, I prepared properly. I'm ready, for a young, hungry prospect to come and bring a fight. But I won't be surprised, and you shouldn't be surprised if I make it look easy. I'm not saying that's exactly how it is. I'm not cocky like that. I prepared properly, but if he doesn't land a punch and I ragdoll him and make him look like nothing in there, you shouldn't be surprised. And I guarantee you, even though all this talk, post-fight press conference, you're just sitting there saying like, "Oh yeah, he didn't stand a chance," and the tone is going to be totally different. But I'm glad it's not because I want the hype. So keep saying all that stuff. You're saying the right stuff anyway.
He was actually here a while ago, and he was breaking down your skills, and he was saying that he's seen it before. You throw kicks, you follow up punches, and you try and push them to the cage, and that's all you have. I don't know if you're obviously considered a very cerebral fighter who can break things down meticulously. Do you think he is that, or do you think he's almost a bit more raw and sort of brute strength, and it isn't actually that sort of as thought out as you?
Well, him just saying that, like he doesn't know the details, like what I mean. Then I know for a fact he does not understand the game like me. So for him to just think that I'm just kicking, and doesn't understand timing, the distance, there's so many different layers there. Like if you don't understand that, mate, I'm going to mop the floor with you this weekend. So hopefully that's just all talk. Otherwise, it's going to be a walk in the park for me.
He's one of these young guys, right, who has that sort of bravado and stuff like that. Do you think that could potentially work against him, right? If he's already calling himself champion, do you think he could go in there almost having thought he's done it before he's done it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, man, he's probably just playing the game. He's probably just doing a great job. Good on him. Like I said, I appreciate it. But, yeah, I mean, like the good thing is hype. He's doing all that, but it can bite you in the ass, mate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, could you imagine what it's going to be like? Once I get my hand raised, I'm wearing that belt, and because playing the whole superstar thing, like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. Conor McGregor, no top guy's going to, just all this sort of stuff, and you go out there and, mate, everyone's going to completely forget about you, man. It's going to hurt. That's going to hurt him a lot. How does he bounce back from that? Yeah, but I mean, I think he's just playing the game. He's probably clever. He's smart. Like he's just playing the game. He's probably preparing properly, knowing that. All right, I know I'm talking a lot. This can go really good or can go really bad. But yeah, I think he's just playing the game well.
Last one for me. I saw you had a truce with Henry Cejudo. Curious if it was fun to get back with him after some of the things he said, you said. Was it cool to put it?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I had that conversation with you. I'm just like, if he did do that, like, I still don't know. Like, look, I'm an easy going guy. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, for that to happen, to do it on camera, that's why I was just like, as I said, I was like, man, what the fuck? But yeah, he reckons it was a prank. After seeing some videos, I was like, oh, I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, we'll see. What do you reckon?
Eric went on the MMA Hour and said it wasn't planned.
So what wasn't planned?
The whole thing that was filmed. He said he didn't know that was going to happen.
So so he wasn't there all camp, and then bit of backlash. Yeah, swept the just don't do it in front of camera, man. Like you know what I mean. You want to do it like if it's things that aren't working out, and then if you did do it, man, just own it as well. Like you sort of want to feel bad because he obviously regrets it, but yeah. Anyway,
look over here.
Back here.
Over here. Last time at featherweight, the storyline against Yair Rodriguez was, will Volk be able to deal with Yair's unorthodox style and question mark kicks, all that. So now it's the challenge of a young and hungry, undefeated contender in Ilia Topuria. So where do you rank Ilia Topuria amongst all the guys you've faced?
So other than that, what should I be like? At least with when you were saying this with Yair Rodriguez, you were saying the kicks, the diversity in the kicks, the unorthodox style, like all these weapons. You could literally point out all these danger factors because he's shown you that. Now people are just trying to throw up random numbers. So like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's just funny. It's like people gonna be like, oh, I need to look at, oh, he's undefeated. You know what I mean? Like, what's a big threat? Maybe he's boxing. People could say boxing. Should I be worried about just a boxing style? I don't know, but and you could probably see in my face, I ain't worried. You know what I mean? Like again, everyone has a puncher's chance, and I'm always aware of that. I think the only way I ever lose in this division is someone catching me. You know what I mean? It's wrong to say lucky punch, but someone catching me, I think that's the only way anyone ever beats me. And that's the case with this one. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't showing me things that are other than some good hands that I need to be worried about. You know what I mean? But obviously you worry about it because, again, you've got the puncher's chance. But for me, like I said, pretty much every single time we fight, I make this look easy.
For sure. And so you think so for the people that are counting you out, it's maybe because of the way the last Islam fight went rather than purely based on Ilia's skill.
Well, that's what I mean. Everyone's like, people keep saying like, oh, this is the guy, but then they keep the facts that they're going off is me coming off a loss. Oh, this guy's undefeated, and they're doing this. Not, maybe some people might touch on the boxing, but if you think just a boxing style is going to be a big threat to me, then maybe we don't know enough. Look, he's got some good counters. He's very well based. He's powerful. I mean, the power is definitely a danger factor there. But, I mean, you need to land these shots. I mean, look at Yair Rodriguez, like how much, think of how many times he lands on people. It's not easy to land when I'm aware and I know what's going on, I'm not all land completely clean. Obviously, the last one was landed clean. But it's just, like I said, I'm not saying he's not skillful, but he hasn't proved nothing yet. He's going to have to try and prove something for people to really believe this hype is real. But, I mean, that hype is there. Build up the fight. I'm glad. But there's a good chance all that hype goes away real quickly. What was that? Is that me?
Bless you. Fair enough. And so when you were promoting the hashtag Sign Volkanovski campaign back in 2016, did you ever envision that you'd be sitting here talking to us about to go defend your title for the 6th time?
I've pictured myself in the UFC and all that. Maybe not talking at press conferences and that, but I always pictured myself even before I was even in the UFC. Even doing MMA, I pictured myself in the octagon because I was a big fan of the sport. And I reckon I could do it. I wasn't even training at the time. So it was something that I always wanted to do. I started training. And then, it started being real where I was like, pretty much the number one guy in Australia that wasn't signed, world champion. Things were going really well. I was like, oh, hurry up, get me in there. Like, I just wanted, my first few fights in the actual UFC, way less pressure than the fights before I got in the UFC. Because I know that if I was to lose before I got in the UFC, that's a few steps back. I need a few more wins before I even get in there. I knew once I was in the UFC that I knew I was ready. So I was like, I'm like, at least I'm there. Like, I know I'm in there and I know I can beat most of these guys. Yes, there's obviously a chance of losing, but I know I'll get a second chance and there's no way I'm losing twice in a row. You know what I mean? Like, so that was how I was looking at it. And but it's crazy. It is crazy when you think of that, and then obviously it's weird because it seems so long ago, but it just seems like not too long ago at the same time. I don't know how that works. It seems like it doesn't seem that long ago, but it seems like a whole lifetime ago. So it's like a different life, almost. It's weird.
Awesome. And final one from me. You've accomplished a lot in this sport already. So my question is, before you do end up calling it, whenever you do, what are your final goals in this game? Is it to finally hoist that lightweight crown one day, or fight at a specific location, or fight somebody one day before you call it?
I mean, yeah, there's plenty. Obviously, holding that second belt would be great. You got Madison Square Garden. You got there's a few things. Just keep defending, keep winning, keep making money, and keep building that legacy for myself, but for my family as well. So, you know what I mean? So I want to be great. That's why I commit to this sport, because it's at the end of the day, it's all for my family. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters. I put myself through it just so I can get them paychecks and make sure we're set for life.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
So, Alex, between Holloway 3 times and Yair and Ortega and Islam a couple times, which fight in your career do you feel like gave you the most confidence and growth that you could keep taking forward in your career?
I feel like I definitely hit there's a few different ones. You had your Chad Mendes, that was you're like, oh yeah, the first like legend of the sport, like real contender. Then you had obviously Ortega, where a lot mentally changed there, confidence wise, and that's when I, like, even inside and outside the octagon, a lot happened after that. So that one, and then Max, the third one, obviously going out there and knowing that I had to deal with some doubters and people that were always going to say stuff. It's like, I need to close that chapter. You know what I mean? So it was good after that one as well. And then I could feel like I could move on. So yeah, so there's a couple there.
Then Volk, I think a lot of the fans just can't stop watching your ad about making fun of being old. First off, great acting. Secondly, can you talk to us, the director, the writers, who brought up all those ideas? It was just beautifully executed.
Yeah, so that was a sports bet idea. Like, obviously, they mentioned, would you be interested in doing it? I'm like, mate, great. Like, let's do it. It's going to be unreal. And they come up with a lot of it. But, mate, one take, Volk, mate, I'm telling you, all it takes. We finished like 3 hours early. Did it all in a few hours. Acting was on point. So there might be something there.
Do you have a?
I enjoy it too. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Did you have one of the favorite clips or moments from that commercial personally?
Which one? Like there was a lot of it was gold, really. Which one was fun? I don't know. Yeah, the taxation office one, maybe. That was fun. Yeah.
Loved it. The final question, slightly more personal. After your last fight, you talked about dealing with those emotions and those nerves and everything else. I'm wondering, in the months since, and since you talked about it, just some things you may be able to share about how you have, learned to handle some of those emotions in between fights.
Yeah, man. I've always dealt with it very good. Like, I've always been I've always been self-aware, you know what I mean? Very self-aware. Like, I understand what makes me tick. I understand all that. So it's weird because obviously I did touch on in between fights, it gets hard. I said that. You do get uneasy, but I deal with it very well. I find ways, whether it's, in the gym learning or teaching or whatever it is, that makes me tick, and I can tick them boxes as long as I'm evolving. But there was just the pressure of obviously trying to be a good dad, sleepless nights with a newborn, coming off surgery. So the pressure just got to me, and I wasn't dealing with things as well as I usually would. And then people just see me after I got knocked out, which I'm glad people still saw that, because it is something that I want people to, take serious and understand. So I'm glad people get to see me and they get to see how I am now and what's going to happen is the bounce back. They get to see that. But I'm all good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very, very good when it comes to that. So usually I'm a rock. I'm the rock of my household. There was just a time where I just wasn't. You know what I mean? And when there's that little bit of extra pressure that all at once, it can get to you, and it can get to anyone. Trust me, the people that reached out, you'd be surprised, or probably not even surprised, because everyone gets uneasy here and there. You know what I mean? But it's just usually you don't have a camera in your face after you got knocked out while you're there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hola, hi Volk. Me gustaría saber a nivel mental, después de la última derrota por KO, cómo ha trabajado esta faceta para que no le asalten las dudas una vez dentro de la jaula contra un peleador tan peligroso como puede ser Ilia Topuria.
I'd like to know what kind of work was put into the mental aspect of the preparation after going through the experience of a knockout. So what do you do to actually remove any doubt within your mind that that's not going to happen again?
Man, I'm very calculated. Like, I understand what went wrong and play on, move forward. Like, I don't look at that as being like anything other than how I look at that situation. So it was very easy for me to move on. Like, it wasn't like He was just telling me up everywhere and all this, and you know, I mean, it was just that's just how it went. I'm all good with it, you know what I mean, and you know, I know how I felt in there, and so I understand that. So it's easy for me to move on. See, I don't want to, you know, like no matter how you talk about this, everyone's just going to say excuses and stuff like that. But like, it just didn't feel right in there. I couldn't let the hands go and pay the ultimate price for it, you know. And that's why preparation is key. And like we all know that. And I've always been a big believer in that. I told myself I could do it because that's just how my mindset and mentality is. You know what I mean? I thought I'd be more dangerous. I thought I'd let the hands go. I knew I couldn't go a decision. I'm like, I'm going to get this guy. Like, yeah, this is going to be the most dangerous I've ever been. And yet I couldn't even throw a punch. That's how I felt in there. So, again, it's and again, I don't want to sound like I'm taking anything away because I'm not. He felt that like I was maybe biting on these. He felt my guard was down, so he still did a great job to capitalize on that. So full credit to Islam. But for me, in that question, for me moving on is very easy because I understand that situation. I'm okay, very self-aware, as I told you. Play on, move on. Make sure we follow the protocols like we did, and move on, move forward. And then camp just felt exactly like how every other one did. I didn't look at that at all, really, to be honest. It's I don't know, maybe it's just how my head works, but it's camp was great. Should be looking at you when I say that, sorry.
Y otra pregunta tenía, es en caso de que Ilia Topuria ganara la pelea, si te gustaría pedir una revancha inmediata y si eso podría darse incluso en UFC en España, que es lo que Ilia estaba pidiendo en caso de que él ganara este cinturón, poder defenderlo en España.
Another question I had, in just the scenario, in a scenario that Ilia actually wins the fight, would you go for and ask for a rematch immediately, and would that be possible in Spain? Because it's something that Ilia has been talked about. You know, I would like to actually be able to win a championship, actually defend it in Spain. Would you be interested first in a rematch and doing it in Spain, as he mentioned?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sweet. But I'm going to go out there and win, and I'll headline Spain. How about that? I'll go there and I'll headline Spain. And you know what? I think they're struggling still. Maybe, I don't know. It seems like they could be. I don't know. Whether they are with UFC 300. I know a guy. You know what I mean? It's not too. Yeah, it's plenty of time. So just so you know that, just in case there's anything happening, Dana Hunter, you know, I'm going to go do business, ruin someone's party or a few people's party, and then I can come save the day, like I always do.
Okay, thank you.